that iceberg tip. Cash cards, yanking more scars in the blunt for the love that we reach. Turn this down a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear me. What's going on? Let me get this going really quick. All right, got my mirror back there. All right. If you're here and if you're watching this back, go ahead and fast forward. I'm going to take a little while to get going. It took me a long time to get on live. What's going on, everybody? This is Artemis Lore from the Coven page. Sorry it took so long, okay? Had some things to do, and I also have some notes for this particular live stream. If this goes well, I will also be sharing this live stream on my YouTube, okay, on the House of Lore, just to let you know. We have hit another spiritual portal, okay, that's another thing. So right now we're looking at May 2025 energy shifts and spiritual lessons. So we're moving out of the Taurus season into Gemini. Okay, let me look at my planetary calendar. My planetary charts. All right. So right now it looks like we're getting ready to enter the new moon. So we got the new moon in Gemini. Okay. That's basically in 2 days. All right. And that's basically for, you know, a fresh start, a new beginning, transformation. This is a super moon as well. Perfect time for communication. I've had a lot of energy. Lots of synchronicities through dreams, conversations, symbols, and stuff like that. So before I get into too much of the new moon, because the new moon is a big deal. It's a big deal. But I wanted to talk about these energies. So I want to say this. What I see a lot of people going through is, you know, manifesting, their manifestations happening, but then also kind of like this dark leftover energy. I can see that too, but understand that all negativity is not always bad. I wrote some notes about this. It's really important. Not all negative situations are here to harm you. Some things that feel heavy or chaotic are just activations. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Flame? Hey, you made it. What's going on? So that's something that I'm learning right now, is about how some of these negative energies that are coming in, it's so weird. It's like light and dark at the same time. Manifestations coming in and some dark energy, but the dark energy is almost like learning lessons for us to level up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I told you. So yeah, but that's what I thought about, because I've been seeing 555 over and over and over again. And I'm like, what is this change that's coming? You know, what is this that's coming? And I got a spiritual message the other day, and I also got another spiritual message today. And that's what calmed me down, because I realized, I was like, okay, certain situations right now, especially for people going through stuff. I mean, you might have good things coming, but you're trying to figure out how, you know, some negative stuff is coming in. You have to understand there's a balance, right? So when I thought about it, I was like, okay, so this is basically pushing me to the next level. My spirit team is setting me up for something great. Okay. So when you're going through stuff, I mean, in the midst of it, yeah, you might be going through stuff, but at the same time, this is something that we can't see because we're blinded by our reactions to things, our emotions and stuff like that. And as soon as Spirit told me you're getting ready to level up, and then something happened profound after the negative experience, and I was like, oh, this is what this is about. Okay, so we're in the level up. Yes, Flame, we're in the level up season going into Gemini with this new moon. And that's why I was telling people on the Coven page, by the way, congratulations, Coven page. We just made 6K followers. Okay. So I wanted to, you know, congratulate the Coven page and spiritual people and witches coming together from all different backgrounds and, you know, getting along and everybody. If you haven't gone on the Coven page, you're gonna be laughing your ass off, because I literally make that page for, you know, people to you know, kind of go through this spiritual alchemy and kind of alchemize their different feelings and things that they're going through. I do that on purpose, but actually a lot of it is really funny. A lot of stuff to learn, candle magic, different spiritual you know, spiritual messages and stuff like that. So it's a great page. I'm glad I stayed, because I actually was going to shut it down last year, and Spirit was like, nope, nope, nope. So I'm glad I did that. But so yeah, so okay, so we talk about the spiritual activation. It's about change and also graduation energy. So it means that you're almost there. So I'm, you know, this is my thing. Here we are every day. We're fighting to get through, you know, just regular stuff in our life. But then also, you know, this thing in my mind is like, okay, whatever you do in the physical or whatever you do in the spiritual happens in the physical, or vice versa. So that's something, that's one more video I want to add to the class, and we'll get to the class later about, you know, for me, it's like, okay, a lot of us, we're always about this spiritual protection and making sure that, you know, things aren't happening or things are going smoothly, and what we have to do to protect ourselves. So if you are protecting yourself in the spiritual or with candles or anything like that, then of course in the physical that may manifest in a certain way, and you may have to protect yourself in the physical. It's all together, as above, so below, as within, so without, you know. So this is something that I thought about, and I was like, okay, that adds on to the 555 level up experience that I've been having, and a lot of people have been having. So for me, a lot of my spiritual sisters and brothers, you know, they'll have like one thing go wrong, and then all of a sudden everything will shift, and they'll get like a new place or a new car or a new lover. And it's like, whoa, like I just went through all of this, and the next thing I know, I'm up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing about this energy right now that I'm feeling. I'm picking it up a lot more. I don't know why my ring is like, it's trying to come off. This ring trying to come off. All right now, hold on. So that's the thing that I was thinking about. And there was another thing. Let me turn this music off, because I wanted to share a story here really quick, and then I'll talk about the class. I may or may not go on live on TikTok, but I'm actually getting ready to leave. I wanted to share a personal story with you guys really quick about a time when someone cursed me. Okay. Now, this was a really funny time, because I was like trying to figure out what to do. As a matter of fact, I think do I still have it? Yeah, I do, actually. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is actually it. The time that someone cursed me, and my spirit team, my patrons, my goddesses, my spirit guides sent me some tools that I needed to make this jar. And I didn't even have to seal it. So let me tell you, and I think I told you, Flame, but let me tell you what happened. So I woke up in the bed. I had rusty nails in my bed. I had rusty nails in my bed when I woke up. During this particular time, somebody had cursed me. I couldn't figure out where they came from. Okay, because I'm looking around the bed to see if it's like falling apart. I'm like, what is going on? So that happened. And then I found some hornets. I found a beetle right outside my door, down the stairs. What else did I find? There were like 2 or 3 spiders in here, cobweb. I mean, it was crazy. It was just craziness. But I said, oh man, this is so bad. Somebody's trying to hit me. Somebody's trying to, and Spirit said, girl, if you don't get that hornet, get that beetle, okay, save the spider, you know, and get those nails and get you a couple more things and put them in that jar. And I made this jar. This was actually last year. I made this jar. There's a lot of stuff in it. I made this jar, and somehow after I made this jar, shortly after I made this jar, that's when I got my AA in anthropology. I just want to say that. I mean, there was a lot more, but that was like the thing that was going to, protect me and let me, continue to move on with what I needed to do in my life. So I just thought that was crazy. So I was given spiritual tools to use in the physical. And a lot of times when we're going through stuff, everything is so hazy that we can't, we just can't see like what we need to do. And people are like, what do you need to use? What do I use? This and that. How do I do this? Hey, what's going on, Paul? What do I need to do to, make things change? But we got to pay attention to the spiritual tools that are given to us to use in the physical. You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy. I couldn't believe that I found all of that on that day. And I made this jar. I was like, hey, what's going on, brother? Hey, yeah, it was crazy because I've never woken up with rusty nails in my bed. Like I woke up and it happened on 2 occasions during the same particular time where all of this chaos was going on. And that's when I realized that, my goddess was, giving me tools. Just like the time my roses, my roses fell down off my wall. They kept falling. You could see I always have some kind of roses or something up there. They kept falling off of my wall. And the goddess was like, burn the roses. So I don't know if you guys remember, like was it last year or this year? It's like a few months ago, something happened and I came back out and I was showing my cauldron burning these roses in this blue flame. And so it's just like spiritual protection and different, I want to say different signs, different things that will happen at the moment where you're going through something because you're getting ready to level up, but you're just not seeing it at the time. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the live. So that's what I wanted to say. So, okay. So let me go back on my notes because this is recorded. Like I said, if it's good, I'll go ahead and drop it on YouTube. It took me a long time to get on here, but it's whatever. I got everything together. Okay. So we talked about the major shift this month, going from Taurus season into Gemini and the new moon that's happening in 2 days. I'm totally ready for that. Listen, clean your house. If you really want to be ready for this new, clean the house. I've cleaned the house several times. I just refuse. I'm like, not a piece of trash, no dirty dishes. I don't care what it is. I'm cleansing, I'm smudging. My altar is all together. Did the floor wash with Florida water earlier today. Got incense going, and stuff like that. Keep everything clean because this is the manifestation new moon. This is the going from, whatever we've been through or whatever mess into a season of transformation and new energy. Okay. So I'm ready for it. Hopefully you are too. Then we also talked about not all negative situations are bad because sometimes they are, they feel heavy or chaotic, but they can really be a time for activation to level you up. All right. Graduation energy, which is funny. Graduation energy. Everybody's graduating from school in the summer. It's graduation energy, 555 portal, right? So I'm like, okay, this is making sense now. And it just everything just came on, just came over me. And I was like, oh, this is what all of this is about. Okay, people are getting ready to level up, but they just can't see it in the midst of the crap they're going through, but they will end up seeing it eventually soon. And it, I just got all hyped about it. So my spirit team likes to play jokes on me. And then I talked about the time that I was cursed and I found the different tools around my home. That was hilarious. And I still have this jar. And I didn't need to seal it or anything. So that, man, I was like, okay. So anyway, I also wanted to talk about hoodoo and spiritual warfare because that is a topic that I'm going to, I'm going to try to make some more videos for that in the class. But I'm going to say something. A lot of people are not going to agree with me on this, but I have to say this because I do know, several people that are into hoodoo, several people that are into Lightwork, left-hand path, witchcraft, different spiritual avenues. But specifically with hoodoo, I have to say this because, we have people that are come online and they tell you about using Psalms and stuff like that. That's really powerful stuff. But there's more to hoodoo than just Psalms. That's number one. Number two, we also have to realize as far as like the spiritual warfare that comes along with, hold on really quick. Dang, Hikake, wait a minute. Girl, don't be doing that. Shoot, hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened on live. So anyway, let me go back to hoodoo and the spiritual warfare. What a lot of people don't realize is with hoodoo, we're using biblical magic, okay? And that comes from spiritual battles, all right? This is not just about like rituals, it's walking in faith and stuff like that, so you have to realize that, if you're deep into hoodoo or you're trying to, use hoodoo, like for me, I do some stuff that is hoodoo, but then I also work within, hey, what's going on, Guided Witch? I also work within the spiritual realm and witchcraft. At some time, combining this stuff, things happen. And I hate to say spiritual warfare, but when you're using, the word of God and stuff like that, and using this type of magic, sometimes things happen. And I've talked to plenty of people, including, and I know the stuff that I've been through, but plenty of people like my spiritual sisters and stuff that are like, I have no idea what's going on. I know that this biblical magic, I know that this stuff works. It does work, but you just got to understand what type of spiritual realms you're working within. Okay. So I'll talk more about that in the class, because there's so much about that we all need to understand if we're going to be using these different spiritual avenues and methods. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. Now let's get into the class. All right. I have made a decision. Paul and I were talking earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the class, even though it's not done. And let me tell you why I'm going to drop the class, because I can continue to teach on whatever I didn't cover. Plus, there's a live feed in there. There's chats and stuff like that. And I can continue to add on. I don't want to keep people waiting. So, I just said I'm going to go ahead and drop, and when I say drop, I'm not talking about to the whole world. I'm talking about for people who really wanted to, learn from me or see from a different perspective, certain things that I know now. Unlike Udemy or Udemy, where, those classes are outdated and they're old. But I wanted to do that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and drop it with discounts. I'm just going to take half off the price of the class and just send whoever wants to be in the class, send you the individual link so you can go ahead and jump in. And that'll give me time to jump in and, oh, hey, I didn't talk about this. Let me make a video, or, hey, I didn't talk about that. Let me go on live in there and let's have a discussion about this particular topic or subject. So I'm dropping the class because I was like, I got to wait for like 2-3 more weeks because I am not done. I need to talk about this. I need to do this. And Spirit was like, girl, just go ahead and let it go. So I'm going to let it go. All right. Just remember, a couple months ago, I told you guys, I lived through my classes. That is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. And I grow this way. So that's why it takes so long, and I put a lot of thought into the class. So probably tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to sit in the class as a student and watch every single video. And then that way I can take notes and, take my own notes and say, okay, this is where I need to fill in, or I didn't talk about this, or I didn't cover this enough. I can add that later at different times. Okay. So other than that, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're prepared for the new moon. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and inbox me. I'm going to save this now. Hopefully it didn't glitch. Hopefully it's clear. Hopefully, you know, it's all to the good, and I can go ahead and drop this on YouTube as well. So with that being said, let me see if I missed anything in here. Make sure I said hello to everybody. I did. Okay. All right, you guys, you can inbox me. I'll be around for a few minutes and then I'm getting ready to leave. Talk to you later. Bye.